5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Not making the same mistake today. That mic is definitely on. It is the 91st day of doing this every single day, podcast day, kids doctor away, all that good stuff. And I actually have things to mention. Things have happened in the world. That's nice. That's always good. That always feels great. Ben Foster, out of retirement. By the way, the amount of times, whether it's been in music recently or sport or there's other things outside of music and sport, obviously, I just can't think of them. Where people just, retirement means nothing anymore. Retirement is a myth. I mean, I've got 3 examples now, including the Ben Foster one, so 2 extras. Because I can't be asked. There's a way more, but I'm just going to go for these. Logic. You make this whole thing like, oh, I'm going to retire. I've already sat down and thought about this. This is my final album. And now he's back making music, and he's making it in like the weirdest way, in the way he's presenting it, because it kind of just seems like he didn't like being irrelevant or something. Because like the way he's came back, it's like he's just trying to get on every single popular show or every single kind of popular podcast or people just who do well on YouTube, and he's trying to like sink his way in. Like, I know I actually really enjoy watching this, and I just want to be a part of it. When really it just kind of feels like it's all just a massive marketing scheme. It kind of feels weird. Jumping on all these different vibes, like this corner of the internet, this corner of the internet, trying to get involved in shit, promoting more music. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even that long after he said, he retired, people come back. They don't stop. Roy Hodgson, has he came out of retirement 3 times or twice or something? He is like the oldest. He holds the record for being the oldest Premier League manager 3 times. Most people hold that record no times. I think he held it twice at Palace and once at Watford, or twice at Watford, once at Palace. I think twice at Palace, once at Watford. He's like 75. He's still going. And God only knows how he holds that record, because I can't think of a person I hated more in the year of 20... What year would it have been? 2016? Then Roy Hodgson? I think it was 2014-16, because in 2014, I'm pretty sure that's when he was managing us in the World Cup, right? We didn't win a game. It wasn't the easiest group, I'll be honest. I think Uruguay, they have their threats, physically and in terms of football. Physically, Suarez both poses both threats. His teeth and his footballing ability in Uruguay. Also had Italy, but I don't know if it was the strongest Italy side. I mean, they were being led by Balotelli and stuff, but maybe they had a bunch of great players. My mind's just blanking out. But I felt like the Italy side we lost to in the final was probably better in terms of some of the quality they have. But yeah, we lost to an Italy side, and we lost. I don't know if we drew or we lost. Doesn't really matter. It was already out by the time we had to play Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica. Whichever one. We was out already, man. We was out. And Costa Rica have proven to be a side who will get no ratings and get no love, because people look at Costa Rica and go, oh, they're just one of the shit teams, one of the dregs. But I think a lot like maybe like Saudi Arabia or Japan is a better example. One of those teams who maybe just get written off as like one of these easy beatable teams, and actually prove themselves to be they're actually going to put up a decent fight. That being said, it was pitiful, and he sticks around for Euro 2016, which obviously I'm pretty sure this was Hodgson. Yeah, it was. I remember Spencer FC going on a big rant after the game talking about England being shit, where this was a real low point for England. It was kind of off the back of so many tournaments of just round of 16 finishes, getting knocked out in the groups. And it kind of climaxed with that 2016 defeat to Iceland, while we was all looking ahead at the France game, being like, oh, can we even get to France? Can we get to France? It was overlooking the Iceland game. We scored a penalty. We went up like within 6 minutes or something, and then it was just... That was probably the most emotional I've been ever watching it. Well, losing finals, actually. Well, no, that's even not true. Losing to Italy uh in the Euros final, cut deep, man. It was so surreal that we even got that far. Um, I actually wasn't as cut up when we lost to France because they're just a good team, and I don't think we would have went on to win it. Definitely anyway. Um, in terms of Champions League finals or like Premier League or like cups for Chelsea going down to it, I just as a single game that wasn't a final, it didn't mean that much in itself. The Iceland one, because it was just frustration. It was one of those ones where you want to just cry out of anger. You know, it's like when you can't find like your AirPods, and you got to go on like I don't have AirPods, so I'm just trying to relate to the audience. But when you can't find like your AirPods or like your keys or something, and you're going to be late or you got to go somewhere and you need it, or even if you don't, you just can't find it. You've been looking for hours and you're just like on the point where you just kind of want to cry because you're looking in the fridge, and at this point, what I mean, when you start looking in the fridge for things you've lost, that's when you know, or when you start thinking, did I throw it out? That's when you know you're down hard, bad, real bad. This is a big tangent. Look, I can't even mention Roy Hodgson's name. He's like the fucking Bloody Mary, without fucking demons coming back. I have to talk about how much I hated him because I'll never forgive him for that. I don't care what he does for Palace. He did all right at Palace, sure. Vieira did all right at Palace. They just sacked him. So Hodgson's got sort of saved his reputation a little bit with the whole Palace towards the end of his career. His whole stint there as like a half decent manager. But sometimes managers just find the right fit with a certain club and it just goes well. But I do not like him. I will never forgive him. It's not even his fault, mainly. Well, we did have the two top goal scorers that season in Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy. I think Harry Kane got 30 goals and Jamie Vardy got 20. They were the top two goal scorers in the best league in the world, and yet they only managed a goal between them in the whole tournament. But basically retirement means nothing. Roy Hodgson's back again. Anything can just get you back. What's the point in saying I retire? Just say I'm going to stop until something good comes about. Ben Foster the same, retired. I think he retired. I think this might be his second time coming out of retirement again. No, I think this is his first time. But this, to me, out of all of them, makes the most sense. Roy Hodgson, it's not a particularly amazing opportunity. You were just at this club not long ago, and you decided to retire, or you got sacked, or you parted ways, can't remember. And now it's like, oh, do you want to come back? It's like, I guess sure. It just feels like so, from Palace's point of view, as a Palace fan, or like, as Palace as the club or whatever, I just kind of be like, ugh, okay, well, this isn't progression. We know what we're getting here. We're going to get like slightly better form than maybe we're in, being 3 points off bottom, but we're not really going to step up. It just feels boring. It's not like a long-term choice. It's not like, you know what I mean? And from Hodgson's point of view, it's just kind of like, what am I really planning on achieving here? There's no long-term goal. I might be dead by next season. That was that's a bit morbid. He's not that bad. He's not going to die. No, but I said that's a joke, but honestly, 75, and he's not, I don't know what shape he's in, right? That could be true. But that would be sad, obviously, and I don't wish that on Roy, regardless of any tournaments. But yeah, I think the Ben Foster coming back, it is so smart. I think Foster. The thing is, he has made a lot out of a little. You could argue he's not the best goalkeeper in the world, but he wasn't bad either. Like, he was a very good goalkeeper. You look at him in the league, so underrated. I feel like, I'm not sure, but I want to say people like Fraser Forster always got more of a look in, or maybe was thought of as a better goalkeeper, like 5 years ago or at the time. But I don't think that ever was the case. Fraser Forster's a big lump. Like, he's huge in there. He's just a big body. Ben Foster, like, in terms of reflexes, I remember when he was in the league with West Brom, however long ago that was, just always been impressed by him. Because, like, when I'd watch Match of the Day and they'd show, like, saves of the weekend or something, I remember just always watching the saves, and the most fun ones for a period when I used to watch Match of the Day was always Joe Hart and Ben Foster. And Joe Hart's one of my favourite goalkeepers of all time, which I know is a bit of a rogue shout, but he is. I'm not saying he's one of the best of all time. That'd be controversial, but he's always been probably my favourite, or up there. And Ben Foster always been decent, and like, to go from Man United and sort of do what he's done with his career, the whole GoPro stuff, and then throughout the Championship, couldn't really do it in the same way with Watford when they went up, but still managed to like evolve the content, getting involved with like YouTubers that doesn't feel like it's in a scummy way. Like he actually feels like he enjoys it. The Logic stuff, he might be enjoying it as well, but he just feels a little bit more scummy. To like, there is no other club in the world, I believe, that is a better choice for him than this. That he like, I think in terms of his career and everything that's like what he's doing now and everything going for him, there is no other team in the world that would have been a better choice for him to join. The only other option, like Man United, Barcelona, if one of these teams said, come in and do this for us, yeah, it could be interesting, but like they'd be so restrictive of what you could film, probably, and probably be barely nothing, and you'd have to leave the country. You wouldn't be able to still make his podcasts and his videos with the same types of people he wants to be, so you'd lose that aspect. You'd get a new angle, obviously, but there'd just be a lot of restrictions is the main reason, and he obviously would never play. So in terms of the teams he actually could play for, the only other sort of smart, in a similar ilk kind of moves would have been like Inter Miami, David Beckham's team. It's a great headline. People want to see what goes on there. You might get some good leniency, and you're playing out in America. It's just like sort of a fun new vibe. Do it for a year. It's like a whole different, it's like a refresh of the channel. Or hashtag United. But they've already got so much footage anyway, and it's so low down in the leagues. They're like 8th or 9th tier. So the stakes are too low, and yeah, they just already have. They already have like so much footage of it. You know what I mean? So Wrexham on the verge of becoming a professional league club. To be able to be a part of that, you're going down the history books. Ryan Reynolds owns the team. They've got a decent stadium, which gets sold out every week. They're already top of the league. You're going to get leniency to do what you want. The players already are allowed to do podcasts with all these YouTubers and stuff, and like football challenges, and the whole documentary behind it, which they're doing. It's just the only team and the right team to come out of retirement to play for, which you wouldn't think, because they're a National League side, but it's just so, and it doesn't even matter what they're paying him. He could do it for free. It's still just a great move in general. Like, I reckon, I wouldn't even be against him approaching them being like, hey, do you reckon I could join for free? It'd just be great to be able to film and stuff and like still play some games and be a part of. It's like there's still stakes. Like you're still fine to go up. And he's obviously a fantastic guy. He was just playing in the Premier League not long ago. Now, so yeah, Rex and Ryan Reynolds, all of them bloody ledge, mate, as Benny Foster would say. Absolute ledge. Honestly, Little Rocket, absolute ledge, mate. That's, I know. Along those lines, I'm not, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Commendable. Sometimes you look at people and you say, they just know what they're doing. They just know, man. Because as much as the GoPro in the goal thing is like so good, like imagine if this is like his full view of doing it now when he's still in like the Championship, just doing it. Like the views, but it'd still be good, but they'd be like down by so much. Like he's really always refreshed things and like got the new angles or the new storylines in a good way. I rate him for that. And plus, I think he's still. It's not like he's. Yeah, I think I was speaking about yesterday how like the Ted Lasso thing happened and how the fans were pissed off over that, and it's so little, right? The whole changing the banner thing, right? Think about how much negative media or press you could have got for like the route Ben Foster's gone in and the content he makes, and think about, he has had some, but think about how little it's been realistically. You got to say fair play. He's played the game pretty well. That was 91. And I actually remember to plug it in this time, so I'm feeling good about that. Pod a day. See you on 92.
With the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,